The Rock challenges Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Major surprises rumored for WWE Smackdown. Triple H claims WrestleMania 39 tickets almost got sold out in 24 hours. Becky Lynch provides an update on her SummerSlam injury. Roman Reigns worried after destroying The Rock. Sasha Banks and Naomi don't want to return to WWE. Let's jump right into our first story. Major surprises rumored for WWE Smackdown. WWE Smackdown is almost certain to be filled with surprises this week. After seeing the returns of Hit Row, Cross, and Loomis, one can almost say with certainty that we're in for many more surprises. What could potentially transpire on WWE Smackdown this week? Here are 3 twists that could take place and change the course of the show and the product. If there's anything we know about the Triple H era, it is to expect the unexpected. As always, share your ideas and inputs in the comments section below. Let us know your ideas for what could potentially transpire during the said show. With that said, let's dive straight into the video. Number 3. Karrion Kross reintroduces 2 top stars into the company. Karrion Kross has been constantly running his mouth about the bloodline, but even with the witchy Oracle Scarlet by his side, he does find himself outnumbered. Could he bring back 2 top stars to the company to form a formidable faction of his own to take the bloodline down? John Morrison is currently a free agent and could make his presence felt on WWE Smackdown in a really big way, as could Killian Dane, who has not ruled out a return to the company. With the strength of Dane and the agility of Morrison to bolster him on, Kross could certainly take the fight to the one starting this week. Number 2. Sasha Banks and Naomi make their WWE Smackdown return. The tournament is happening to crown 2 new champions, but the problem with this whole scenario is that the previous champions never lost their titles fair and square, which is why they may show up this week to shake things up. Imagine the roar of the crowd if Sasha Banks and Naomi do appear on WWE Smackdown and inform the world that they're bringing the tournament to a stop for good. It would bring about a sense of excitement into this competition that was missing. It would also make sense from a storyline perspective, especially if you consider that they walked out because they felt slighted. Number 1. Sami Zayn proves his worth to Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens fondly name-dropped Sami Zayn on Raw this week. Could he show up on WWE Smackdown to do his old friend and greatest rival a favor? Imagine Sami Zayn interrupting Drew McIntyre vs. Roman Reigns face-to-face segment that's been advertised, and then, all of a sudden, Kevin Owens attacks McIntyre from behind. It would make sense in the overall context of things, especially if you consider that Owens and the Scottish Warrior went to war on Raw in a match that pleased many fans. With Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn also inserted into the title picture, anything could happen at any time. Such a scenario is always a delight for fans to experience. Triple H claims WrestleMania 39 tickets almost got sold out in 24 hours. WWE Executive Vice President of Talent Relations Triple H has revealed how many tickets have been sold so far for next year's WrestleMania. The Showcase of the Immortals is set to take place at the SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles on April 1st and 2nd. With tickets going on sale last week, Triple H provided an update regarding ticket sales during WWE's second financial quarter earnings call. Triple H says over 90,000 tickets were sold in the first 24 hours for WrestleMania ticket sales at SoFi Stadium, roughly 80% sold. He says they've never sold that many tickets that quickly. WrestleMania 39 is set to take place in one of the most glamorous places on Earth, with the WWE Universe having very high expectations for next year's show. Following Vince McMahon's retirement from the company, the King of Kings is now in charge of the company's creative department, meaning that the 53-year-old will be only the second ever person to book WrestleMania from start to finish. Speaking on WWE's YouTube channel, the recently retired star posed a question to fans ahead of next year's show of shows. Everyone at WWE, from the superstars you see in the ring and on screen to everyone backstage, is looking forward to bringing an experience unlike any other to the WWE Universe, and we cannot wait for WrestleMania live from SoFi Stadium next April 1st and 2nd. But until then, I only have one for you. Are you ready? Considering how well Triple H has booked both Raw and SmackDown as of late, fans are very much intrigued as to what a Triple H booked WrestleMania will look like. What do you think will be the main event of WrestleMania 39? Let us know in the comments section below. Becky Lynch provides an update on her SummerSlam injury. Becky Lynch has confirmed that she could return to WWE earlier than expected and also revealed a personal project she's working on. At SummerSlam 2022, Big Time Bex injured her shoulder during her unsuccessful challenge against Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. She's expected to be out of action for several months. Becky was accompanied by her husband Seth Rollins on an Instagram Live with The Rock and former WWE head writer Brian Jewers to discuss the latter's new book. Turns out, the man is writing a book herself. I'm still writing mine, and I'm really happy that when mine comes out, at least it won't be in direct competition with yours. So well written and hilarious. Hopefully in the next couple of months. Now that I got a bad wing, I got a little bit more time to dedicate to it, said Lynch. When The Rock asked her about her injury, she said, "Oh good, yeah. I feel like I've gotten a bunch more mobility in it. Because when it happened it was so painful that I was like, oh no." I'm gonna be out for a long time. But now it's healing up real quick. I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling good. So I'm hoping it won't be much time at all. The former Raw Women's Champion achieved a great deal of success during her WWE career. And it all began when the man was born. After her return at SummerSlam last year, however, Becky began referring to herself as Big Time Bex and was given a new gimmick. However, on the SummerSlam 2022 Fallout episode of Raw, Lynch was referred to as the man once again, and she took to Twitter to send a message to the WWE Universe, promising that she would be back soon. This means that when she returns, she could do so as her old character. The Rock challenges Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. The Rock put forth a hilarious proposal during a recent Instagram live session with former WWE writer Brian George. Brian George recently launched his new book, There's Just One Problem, and is currently promoting the same on his social media handle. George did an Instagram live session with WWE superstars Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. While the trio was having a fun time chatting with each other, George noticed that WWE legend The Rock had left a comment on the live stream. The Great One wrote the following in his comment: Rock and Brian vs. Seth and Becky at Mania. Book that SHT. Lynch was quite surprised to see The Rock's comment and responded by stating that she's down for the match. I'm down. Lynch responded. The last time the Brahma Bull stepped in the squared circle was 6 years ago, at WrestleMania 32. At the mega event, he came face-to-face with the Wyatt family, leading to a match between him and Eric Rowan. The bout lasted 6 seconds and is still the shortest match in WrestleMania history. As per Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio, there are plans to have the former WWE champion take on Roman Reigns at next year's WrestleMania. It's the plan. It's 100% the plan for this year. But the idea is, it's the plan if he can do it. We're still months away, months and months away. So many opportunities and things like that may come up that are far more important than WrestleMania. Reigns is currently the undisputed WWE Universal Champion and has held the Universal title for more than 700 days at this point. As for the WWE title, he beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 38 earlier this year to win the coveted belt. Dwayne Johnson was simply having some fun with his comments, but a tag team match between him and Seth Becky on opposite sides would certainly be a treat for fans. Roman Reigns worried after destroying The Rock. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins had amusingly opposite reactions to The Rock getting injured after the Shield's attack on Raw back in 2013. In early 2013, The Rock kicked off a feud with then WWE Champion CM Punk. On the Go Home show for WWE Royal Rumble 2013, The Rock was on the receiving end of a brutal attack at the hands of the Shield. Moments after the attack, Punk cut a promo on The Rock, while the latter could be seen spitting blood in the ring. The Great One recently chatted with Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, and former WWE writer Brian George on an Instagram live session. He recalled the segment in question and revealed how Reigns and Rollins reacted to him getting injured. Here are The Rock's comments. You know what was really cool? When the Shield attacked me before WrestleMania and powerbombed me, and I remember Seth. I was on Roman's shoulders. He threw me down so hard on that mat. Busted my blood vessels. Blood started coming out of my mouth. Roman looked down and was like, "You okay, Uso?" And as far as I can answer, Seth was like, "Who gives a ST?" and walks away. It's been 9 long years since Roman Reigns' brutal powerbomb left The Rock spitting his own blood in the middle of the ring. If the rumor mill is to be believed, the two megastars will face off in a singles capacity at WrestleMania 39. As for the attack in question, The Rock acknowledged the same on his official Twitter handle shortly after that episode of Raw went off the air. Diagnosis: internal bleeding, lungs, torn blood vessels. Thank you at WWE Universe. Just part of the job, I'll be good. The Rock had the last laugh, though. At the 2013 Royal Rumble event, he defeated CM Punk for the WWE title. He held the title belt for a brief period, before dropping it to John Cena at WrestleMania 29. Sasha Banks and Naomi don't want to return to WWE. Former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Sasha Banks and Naomi ignored an interviewer's question regarding their WWE return. Banks and Naomi walked out on the May 16th episode of WWE Raw and vacated their women's tag team title. It was reported that the duo were unhappy with how they were treated and with the creative's decision regarding their match bookings. Banks and Naomi's first appearance since their walkout was at C2E2 on August 6th. The former tag team champions made an appearance at the She-Hulk premiere event. Their arrival caught the eye of reporters. A fan shared a video on Twitter of one reporter asking them about their return to WWE. The two refused to answer the question and ignored the reporter. Naomi laughed it off while the boss was completely silent. Fans have been speculating that the duo will make a return to the company ever since Triple H took over. With that being said, people also respect their decision to stay away from the company. Of course, the two did get some heat from fans, but the majority showed their love and support for the former tag champion. When the aforementioned video landed on the internet, fans had mixed reactions to it. The majority of fans appreciated Naomi's response to the question. Most fans pointed out that, if they are indeed returning, both women would not be spoiling their return. Do you think Sasha Banks and Naomi will be returning to WWE? Let us know in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed 'em. If you're coming for